Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays the Binding of Isaac AFTERBIRTH Plus. Coming off a weird run. It's weird because it was like so... Whoa. Arza, it's the Rizza, 7, MPRM. Great rate of fire, good damage, good speed. Great spacebar item, great trinket. This one is like incredible right off the bat. I don't want to insult, you know, we always start these runs by talking about the sins of the last run, what could do better, or what could be done better. You know, what went well, what went terribly. It was our damage that really almost created a problem, and it was our defense that saved us, and that's all you need to say about that. It was a comfortable win, but it was probably like one great item away from being a loss. Maybe two. Either way, we're starting this run in like... Again, it's like that last run is like an old friend from high school or something like that. Now that I'm in college, it's like, well, our new friend has better damage already than we had when we got to the cathedral. It's a little insulting to, you know, besmirch the good name of the people who got you to where you are, right? This time we'll take deck of cards. Gives us a lovers, which is extremely not good right now. Reroll it into Sister Maggie. If I'm being realistic, we're not going to have much of a choice. So I'm willing to take Sister Maggie. It'll probably be useless, but hey, look on the bright side. Maybe with Sacrificial Altar, it could give us something half decent. Shooting all the poops here because our rate of fire is great. And I'm hoping we can get an arcade chance or something like that, even though we only have 1 HP right now. I've been a lot more relaxed on the start of these Isaac runs lately. Just in general, I've kind of been a more relaxed person over the past few weeks, and it feels good. My doctor's gonna be happy. She'll be like, why is your blood pressure lowered? And I'll be like, I don't know. Just one day, I guess I was like, I should relax more, and then I started. And she's gonna be like, you should write a book. You're a great man. You've discovered something incredible. And the book will just be called Chill Out. I kind of hate self-help books. Because I go into every book. You know, I don't read self-help. I accidentally got the audiobook for like, How to Not Give an F, you know? It's one of those top 10 best-selling books that's like, how to care less about your life and simultaneously succeed more as a result. I forgot that I had subscribed to Audible in 2014. So one day I signed into Audible on my phone, and it was like, you got 130 free books. And I went, okay. So pretty much like once a week before bed, I would just be like, we'll check out something, and if it sucks, I mean, if it sucks, it was $10 that I spent probably in like January of 2015, so life goes on. And that's when I got it. I just couldn't stand it, man. I'm not besmirching the good name of the author, but it was like, you know, nothing in your life matters, so don't give an F. And the things that do matter, all of your F's matter, so I get it, okay? You can swear. I can't say swears in my videos, but it's just like a little bit too much like Dave Navarro was lecturing me. You know, the drummer from Motley Crue, who was married to Carmen Electra for a little while. I guess where I run into trouble is when, for every self-help book, there's like an innate question of like what makes you so inclined as to be the person giving advice in this situation. Like, I only want to read a self-help book from a dead person. And that's going to sound weird, but I want to know that you applied your lessons for the entirety of your life and they worked out for you. What I don't want to do is read this book from like internet startup mogul Todd Forgan Steen. He's got everything you could ever want, and I'm reading in 2018. He's on top of the world. Who knows? Maybe he goes to jail for securities fraud. That really puts a damper on the legacy of his self-help novel, wouldn't you say? Todd Forgan Steen indicted on 12 counts of human trafficking or something like that. That's like, I'm not suggesting that this person I made up would do such a terrible thing. All I'm saying is, I want to, like, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I do not like that book. I have read it. I don't like it for reasons I've stated many times. I think anytime somebody gets a job as a retail salesperson with commission, they read that book to give them a level up and I find it very artificial. What can I do for you today, Ryan? I don't know you. Don't use my birth name. For the rest of this conversation, you should refer to me as sir, or better yet, not at all. But at least you could look at Dale Carnegie's life and be like, here's the legacy of his novel, here's what he, did. Did he declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy 14 times after writing this book? So I feel like your resume has to be in check, if you're going to be a self-help author. I don't want to read a self-help book from somebody who's like, this is what I used to get successful, and then 4 years later is like you died in a ditch somewhere. Anyway, basically this is why I like reading textbooks and then fiction. Stay away from me. Also, I think you should give like more of an F. That's my self-help book. You should care more about yourself. Probably not going to get to #1 on the New York Times bestseller list just by doing that. I think I just hate anybody that could be described as a rock star without actually being involved in the rock industry. Rock star author turned internet startup mogul Todd. Todd. We know Todd Forgan Steen. I gotta look it up. Does that name exist? Forgan Steen. Forgan Steen. There's some Facebook profiles. There's a couple of German scientific literature papers that have... Okay, so that's good. I chose a name that it appears is extremely rare, at the very least. So that works for me. Anyway, that isn't really how I intended to start this video, but, it's something to spin off of. I also worry that, sometimes self-help becomes like a little bit of a cult. Like, instead of it being, I'm going to use these tools to improve my life, they get these communities formed around them that's like, check out how closely I'm following the rules. In time, surely the rest of the things in my life will follow suit. And then people go, yeah, bro, but you're following that rule slightly incorrectly. That's not the spirit of the rule. The spirit of the rule is blah, blah. And I'm like, man... There's probably, maybe I'm coming from a position where I don't understand them in the first place. All I'm going to say, is... If I wrote, a self-help book for Twitch streamers, it would be very simple. First, Chapter 1 would undermine the rest of it, because it would say, hey, I'm just a dude, I don't have all the answers, trust your own gut. Chapter 2 would be like, when was the last time you hung out with your friends? Chapter 3 would be like, when was the last time you exercised? Chapter 4 would be like, when was the last time you ate a well-balanced meal consistently for a week? And then at the end it would be like, you see all those numbers? Try to subtract as many days from those as you conceivably can. And then burn this book. Don't make a subreddit about it. Just put these tools into action. But I can't write the self-help book. You know why? First off, it's all been a joke the whole time. Secondarily, I don't know where my own life ends. Maybe I declare Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I don't want to waste all this time writing the self-help book if in the end it all gets undermined by the fact that I turn out to be an enormous failure, So I'll just stick to writing tweets instead. I think that's where my talents are best served. Two of spades. Absolutely. Glass cannon. Not at all worth taking. I'm resisting the notion to get, complainy about this run. Because look at our HP. Our HP is so good. The only thing I'll complain about is the fact that, much like our last run, item rooms have left a little bit to be desired, and we're a little bit slow on the uptake from the damage standpoint. So... Plus, I'm also going to complain about the fact that our deal with the Devil Chance is 38.13%, which is, better than it should be, but worse because it's so much harder to do, back-of-the-napkin calculations with an irregular number of that sort. No offense to 38.13, which, it didn't choose how it came into this world, but, 30, fairly easy to do numbers with. 33, very easy to do numbers with. Calculations with, operations, whatever you wanted to describe them as, and, even 35, acceptable. Even 32, you know, because that's a multiple of 8. You can get some easy operations done on that on the back of a napkin, but, you know, if you get your restaurant bill and it's $38.13, you're like, well, I can't, for a tip, just round it up to 40. That would be an insult to them because of our cultural norms. So, I mean, is 45 appropriate, or do we have to go up to 50? No, 50 is like a 35% tip. That's ridiculous. You know, you get the idea. It's just more complicated. Lots of active items, but mostly starting to get a little worried about our long-term DPS. But nothing to sweat quite yet. Tipping's weird, dude. Like, I could state an actual political opinion I have, and I think, regardless of what that opinion was, it could not be more controversial than mentioning the fact that in North America there's a tipping culture. For some reason, it's like the most divisive thing on the internet. I'll tell you both ways. If I say the statement, I tip 15 to 20%. About 40% of people, I think, I'm drawing these numbers out of my butt, about 38.13% of people are going to be like, that's appropriate. Half of the remaining are going to be like, oh, did they serve you improperly? Because a proper tip is at least 25%, but going up, I've tipped as much as 50%, blah, blah, blah. And the other half of the remaining subset of people are going to be like, I don't tip at all because I think it enables, you know, the wealthy restaurant owners to allow patrons to subsidize the wages of their employees. It's annoying, dude. It's one of the, I can't really, so you know, the irony is that North Americans, you know, they go to Japan or Korea, and they go, wow, you can't drink like a coffee cup on the subway without looking at you funny, because it's against the social norm to consume a liquid while transporting yourself. Like, holding a cup of coffee and walking is not a thing that's commonly done there. Isn't that weird? Wow, this country's so backwards. And simultaneously, you know, when we're back in our home country, we get a bill from a restaurant, and we're like, oh, $21? All right, here's $25. See you next time. There's like a little, it's like the minimum bill is $21, and then at your discretion, pay what you want after that. You know, it's, I'll admit, tipping's bizarre. Despite all of my anecdotes that make it seem like I probably dislike people that work in the service industry, it's not the case at all. I overtip. I tip on takeout orders. Less, but admittedly so. Sometimes I will tip at a Starbucks or something like that if I'm paying with cash and it's like, you know, $3.75. I'll put the quarter in the tip jar. Doesn't matter to me. It's kind of a privileged statement, but you get the idea. Tomo. Tomo's like, that was my treat money. Hello, my son. But I'll admit, it doesn't make sense. I only do it so the people at the establishment won't judge me. Tomo! Tomo! I hope you can hear him and it doesn't sound like I'm insane. Oh, it's the first Tomo of the day, which means now he wants to leave. He came in. He said hello. You want to stay or you want to go, Tomo? Oh, he wants to stay! He's chosen to stay. What a good boy. What a good boy. 1 second. I'll play more Isaac. Just give it a minute. I'm petting him. I can see in his eyes this pet is going to put him in the box and he's going to fall asleep. Right, Tomo? Right, Tomo? Yes, that's a good boy. Okay, Tomo. I gotta record some Isaac, alright, buddy? Don't hit my hand when I pull it away. He hit my hand. Okay, 2 more pets. There you go. And that, and that. Now he's gonna hit me again. I'm sorry, Tomo. Don't feel bad for this cat, okay? I pet this boy for hours at a time. Oh, he's up on the desk now. Hello, my son. Yes. Okay, now you're blocking the monitor. That's becoming a bit more of an annoying situation. Hello, Tomo. I would very much like it if you would get in the box. Don't step on the recording hotkey. That would make Father very upset. I pet this cat for hours and hours. Whenever I stop petting him, he scratches my arm. Like, not aggressively, but he goes like, hey, I'm not done with the pets. I gotta live my own human life as well. I can't spend the whole thing giving this guy pets on demand. You wanna leave now? Hello? Yes, there he goes. Oh, but he's straddling the door. It's really up to... Tomo, it's getting a little... Like, you're making it about you, and that's a little selfish. Can fit many pets, brother. That's Hulk Hogan as a cat that can fit many loops. Hello! But Tomo is a good boy. He doesn't... Here's the thing. Let me give you an example, okay? I think I talked about this recently, but... When Ruka throws up, he actually... I don't know if it's deliberate, subconscious, or a total accident, but he aims for the areas that do the most damage. Inside of a shoe, you know, on a carpet, on a blanket, on his scratching pad that's made of corrugated cardboard, so even if you get it instantly, like, it's still never gonna be the same, right? Tomo makes an effort. Like, if he's gonna throw up, which doesn't happen that often, but if he's gonna throw up, he will leave wherever he is, go out to where there's a wooden floor, and throw up on that. And it's really just a great bit of politeness, because it's easier to clean up. Yes, you know what? You get an extra pet. No pets? You don't want a pet? You want to leave? Okay. Well, you know, never mind. He's kind of a jerk, all things considered. I wasn't like that when I was a kid. You know, people, when they watch my videos, they say, NL, are you pretending to be an idiot? And the answer to that question is no. Sometimes I just make the wrong decisions that, you know, are the result of stimuli coming into my brain and being processed incorrectly. When I was like 11, I remember I had the flu, and I threw up. Where did I throw up? The sink. In my head, I was like, go to the bathroom and throw up in the sink. My grandparents were like, why didn't you throw up in the toilet that's right next to the sink? And I was like, oh, you know what? I didn't think about that. The benefits of throwing up in the toilet very much outweigh the benefits of throwing up in the sink. You flush and it takes care of the entire mess. It's not restricted by a tighter drain. You know, it passes through the pipes quickly, so there's no risk of like a stink infestation. You get the idea. So I've been like this, like as long as I've been alive, to the best of my knowledge at least. I have a tendency to pretty consistently make the second best decision you could make in any environment. Now, sometimes the second best decision you could make is pretty good. What are some examples? Well, I've done well for myself on Twitch and YouTube. However, I was introduced to League of Legends by a friend of mine in like the year 2009. And I said, I don't really get it. If I had started recording YouTube videos of League of Legends, basically the way the business worked back then is if you were around and making videos, you were one of the only people doing it. So like by default, you'd be like, people would search League of Legends on YouTube, and then there'd be like 2 channels. And you'd be like, here's your 5 million subscribers, sir. Could have done that. Instead, Isaac. Not upset. Dude, I love Isaac. And I think I'd rather be playing this than League of Legends because with this, like, there's no risk of me blowing up and, like, insulting my teammates on video and being labeled as a toxic individual. You know, an Isaac run is just an Isaac run. To get a good game of a MOBA on video, dude, that's, it's an ask. Let's put it that way. I'm sure, at least. But, you know, could have been there. Always think about this, there's a friend of mine in... No. These deals, dude. In 2010, he was like, I want to make a Minecraft YouTube channel. And literally everybody was like, do it. He had good ideas for it. He had like... It was basically like the prototypical Minecraft channel that, you know, became popular around that time, but stayed popular for like ever, like even to this day. but he got paralyzed by analysis. He's like, I don't know if anybody's gonna watch it, and I want to do it, but you know, I'm not sure if I have the perfect idea. And he stalled, and you know, it's not like he's doing terribly in his life, but things could look different, maybe worse. I don't know. If he had gone for it, everybody was encouraging him, but he was like, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, and he tomorrowed himself into never doing it. So what I could have done is been like, listen, if you don't do this, I'm gonna punch you in the face. But the thing is, you gotta make me the co-host. In which case, I don't know, I could be like the Platinum Mineshaft right now, or whatever the heck those channels are called. I'm pretending I know he's the Diamond Minecart. I could have bought that Captain Sparkle's house next to Notch. Instead, I'm gonna have to be content with the penthouse. That's like half a joke. Anyway, it's not all about the fiscal thing. I really like Minecraft. This is not a controversial opinion, I think, but like sometimes people make fun of Minecraft because it has like a younger user base. I feel like if you were like 12 when you started playing Minecraft, you're probably like 20 now, and you're like, remember Minecraft? But for me, who was 20 when I started playing Minecraft, I mean, I haven't played it in like 6 years, well, probably longer, but I'm like, dude, Minecraft is cool. If you've grown out of Minecraft, you've made a mistake. You know, you can get tired of it, and that's fine. But that game is like revolutionary. I got nothing against Minecraft. Same with this. 100% the same thing's gonna happen to Fortnite. You know, and it'll probably happen faster because the way the internet works now is that everything happens faster. I'm gonna level with you, okay? I don't want to make every video about battle royales. I think I like battle royales more than the average person, but more people are cynical about this genre than I've ever seen for any genre, probably in my entire life ever prior to this. If your battle royale comes out and it's like a 7 out of 10, every chat is on Twitch is just gonna be like, why are you playing this trash? This is garbage. We play like a 7 out of 10 indie game, people are like, what a delightful little experience that, you know, I think I'll wait for the Steam sale and then I'll pick this up. If you play a roughly equivalent in quality battle royale, people are like, you sold out, dude. It's the most aggressive, like, anger towards a single video game genre I think I've ever seen. I genuinely believe, well, no, I can't say that with confidence. What I was gonna say is I genuinely believe if you played like Candy Crush, you would get less cynicism than a lot of people do. I don't play that many BRs anymore, but it's like when we played Islands of Nine. It's a new battle royale, admittedly in early access. What's the rub on this one? Is it cartoon graphics? Do you build? Is it in outer space? No, it's like it has like Halo style or Far Cry style gunplay. So instead of most BRs where it's either like, you know, a little bit of arcadey hit scan or something like that, or you know, pretending to be realistic but half the guns don't work and the zeroing distance is made up. No offense, PUBG. It's like it's got sci-fi gunplay to some extent, or at least like not realistic but like arcade realistic, if that makes sense. Like Far Cry, more like Far Cry than Halo. We played it on a Tuesday show, and I was like, it's okay, it's not bad. But I think if your battle royale is anything but a masterpiece, it's just garbage in the eyes of public perception. I don't understand it, man. I guess it's because they've been hyped for so long that there's like a level of cynicism about them. I see it a lot, like this cynicism, and I might be ignorant in this, but I played a lot of BRs. I've definitely played more BRs than the average person, okay? I played more of everything than the average person. I played more, maybe the only thing I've played less of is good games. But I played a lot more trash than the average person. A lot of stuff passes through the youtube.com, twitch.tv/Northernlion filters, okay? I see it a lot like the hatred or animosity towards like sports. Where everyone, did you see the Patriots game last night? Oh, when will people shut up about football, DAE, sports ball, blah, blah. And you're like, well, it's just something I like to do. Oh, bunch of overgrown meatheads beating each other into submission, eh, Bobby? Oh, yes, mama. That's a Waterboy reference. Anyway. I'm just saying. I'm surprised a little bit. I'm not surprised that there's cynicism. I'm surprised that the cynicism is so prevalent. I guess that's what happens when, you know, the first one that really exploded kind of squandered all of the goodwill it ever had. Oh, you mean Arma? No, you know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about PUBG. It's the first one that super blew up. Well, I was playing the Hunger Games in Minecraft mods back in 2011. Oh, congratulations. You know what I mean, though. Think you're being overly reductive to try to prove your gamer cred by suggesting that you know what the first one is, even though it's slightly more esoteric. Oh, Mario? You mean Jumpman? Oh, Super Mario Brothers 2? You mean reskinned Doki Doki Panic? Yeah, that's what I meant. You got me. Alright, I'm going to talk about Isaac for a bit, so I can stop talking about PUBG, but also secondarily, because we're having like a recurring nightmare here of never getting damage upgrades on runs that start well. We're lucky it starts well. Because if it didn't, we'd be in a weird spot, wouldn't we? Stars. I think we just stars out of here, probably. Yeah, I'm okay with that. And we'll take this. It's a damage downgrade for a rate of fire increase. Actually, this one may be slightly not worth it, but it should become worth it over time. But, dude, for now, like, I do find myself being like, where's the damage upgrades? You get one run where damage upgrades are at a huge premium. Sure, it happens. Thanks for Holy Mantle. Thanks for Blank Card, Chaos Card. You get 2 runs in a row where you can't find a single damage upgrade. I'm going to ignore the fact that the damage downgrade happened, because that's my own choice. Fault is not the word I would use. Choice is the word I would use there. You kind of look at this and you go like, what's your problem? Where's the damage upgrades? They're the soul of the game, is being able to improve your DPS. Now, Blank Card, Chaos Card is incredible. 3rd level Bandage Girl, not quite on the same level of magnitude. It's good-ish, but it's not nearly the same, like, effectiveness. So I don't think we'll lose this run, just because we have, you know, Battery Baby and Book of Revelations. But again, like, any one of these last 2 runs could have become a nightmare, were it not for the fact that we started with good defense and maybe, like, I don't know, but really just good defense. And also a decent starting DPS. Like, if we started with, you know, 2.5 DPS and we took that odd mushroom, I'd start to be like, I may not die, but I would want to die. We haven't even sniffed at Hush or Boss Rush recently. Well, we did do Boss Rush like 2 runs ago, but out of the last couple of runs specifically, we haven't even been, it hasn't even been a point of contention. Alright. Polaroid's very important. Next floor, could get to 4th level Bandage Girl. Or we could get the White Pony, which we do not need, but really the big deal is having the opportunity to possibly grab something on the deal with the devil. That would help us out. Get a 76.5% chance, nothing to sneeze at. What a strange idiom, right? Nothing to sneeze at. See, I get the spirit, nothing to sneeze at if you're, for whatever reason. And I get these messages from time to time. They say, NL, I learned idiomatic use of the English language via your videos. So I like to offer a little bit of an explanation that probably falls on deaf ears for a lot of people, but you know, if you're not familiar with the English idiom, nothing to sneeze at, basically what it means is, you know, what you're about to experience or be told about is impressive. Nothing to sneeze at is like, hey, you know, this car has a V8 engine. 231 horsepower, nothing to sneeze at. It's like, you should be impressed. Maybe not bowled over, like maybe not unbelievably impressed, like it's the most amazing thing you've ever seen, but at least, you know, mildly impressed. That's the way I see it, at least. Now, if they made the expression like nothing to scoff at, nothing to feel betrayed by receiving, I get it. But it's a weird expression because sneezes, the vast majority of the time, are non-voluntary. And if they were non-voluntary, they're triggered by, like, you know, somebody grinding pepper into your nose or something like that. They're not triggered by, you know, oh, that thing's only got a V6? Achoo! You know, that's never happened. Just yet another example of the English language being very, very stupid. I love it because its stupidity opens up all sorts of avenues for creativity. And I don't know if that works in other languages because I'm ignorant and I only speak this one. And a little bit of JavaScript. Object. Cannot read property of undefined. They're like, oh my god, his DAE has finally ascended to near industry standards. Please. We're one item away from becoming guppy. But yes, nothing to sneeze at. There's your English idiom for the day. They just come up naturally in conversation. Can't force it. If I had an idiom of the day calendar, maybe that's what I should be selling. Forget the self-help book. Sell an idiom a day. Don't wanna be an etymological idiom. An informal colloquialism. Informal colloquialism. It's just a nice... It's very pleasing to the ear to hear that, isn't it? For me, at least. Informal colloquialism. Sounds like a Moroccan sauce goes on top of some lentils. Here's some red lentils served with an informal colloquialism. You'd be like, ooh, that sounds nice. And they'd be like, say it with me. Nothing to sneeze at. Siri, can you show me an example of a joke that is clever but not funny at all? The joke is that was it. Nah. You know... Oh, you just don't attack that guy, huh? What, is he your boyfriend or something? Guppy items? No guppy items. Dude, we have to take every available opportunity to get these. I still don't think we'll lose, but I'm going to go insane. I really thought we'd be able to get that one in time. I'm going to go insane if I don't get some means of dealing better damage. That was not an efficient use of that, but... We've graduated beyond efficiency, okay? Probably. At least in this case, if we had one Spirit Heart, it'd be a bit of... Well, if we had two Spirit Hearts, it'd be a bit of a different story. One, we might take it just for the urgency's sake, but... I'm just wary because, you know, this is my least favorite archetype of an Isaac run. I would much rather have a run where we appear to be on the cusp of death, but have the damage to pull it out, than a run where our victory is basically guaranteed, but it's gonna take forever to get there. Especially, there's nothing that aggravates and exacerbates this problem more than getting a dead end after spending a long time going in one direction on a floor where you can't see the map. Please. Like, you can hear in my voice, I'm losing luster for this run right here. In my head, I'm going, what am I going to do on today's Darkest Dungeon run? Maybe I'll go do some, get some shard crystals and buy a Color of Madness trinket for Malf. Dude, Darkest Dungeon, we could talk about this for a while, because, like, I'm also exhausting every single conversational topic I have, because every one of these Isaac runs is 50 minutes of me just mindlessly holding the right arrow key and waiting for my homing tiers to kill enemies, then pressing the spacebar whenever the bell rings. You can call me Pavlov's dog. Ring a bell and I'll book a rev. How's about that? Ooh, I don't know about that one, but well, if we get a deal with the devil, we can spend it. Hey, it's Conquest. So I'm not actually very perturbed about this. We're not going to get the 4th level Bandage Girl, but oh well. We could afford to take the White Pony, but we probably shouldn't. We'd much rather get a Spirit Heart once every 6 rooms than better damage once every 4 rooms, but that's the kind of thing that this run, you know, with its terrible DPS makes you think is like a good idea. Let's go. Yeah, okay, we'll take it, but we probably won't take advantage of it yet. So yeah, what I was going to say is, like, Darkest Dungeon, if you're like a tactics-oriented gamer, and believe it or not, I kind of consider myself to be. I'm not Christopher Odd. I'm not having impossible Iron Man runs of XCOM, but I love strategy and tactics games, even though I play them at probably, I don't know, I was going to say a more casual level than most people, but I've had some relatively impressive XCOM and XCOM 2 runs. I've also had a lot of complete failures, but, you know, it must be like, if you're into those sorts of games, the last 5 or 6 years must have been like a dream come true, because it feels like for about 15 years, those games were completely ignored. People were like, no, we don't make those anymore. We make 3D shooters now. We only made tactics games because, you know, the market was such that, you know, the most impressive technical game that you could ever make was just like a custom chessboard, basically. But dude, like once a year, I get an itch to play either XCOM 2, and dude, it's been forever since I talked about it. How good was War of the Chosen? I'm not talking about the series, like that. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but the expansion War of the Chosen, how good was that? Nobody's sleeping on it. Everybody knows. Everybody that's part of the XCOM community, I think, at least knows that it's amazing. But anyway, I'm just saying that was an incredible expansion. As was Enemy Within, by the way. Like, Firaxis is just crushing it with those XCOM expansions. And Darkest Dungeon is the other one. Like, once every couple of years, I'm like, I gotta do a Darkest Dungeon campaign. There's something, I really appreciate a game that relies on 0 twitch reflexes. Especially as I get older and, you know, my neurons slowly turn into calcium carbonate. I'm like, a game where I can sit there for 2 minutes and be like, well, an 85% chance to hit with a 16% chance to crit, and then of course remember that it can do 6 to 11 damage, so if we're crunching those numbers, that's a 31% chance to get a kill on this guy, whereas this other move is a buff, and the buff gives an extra 6% crit chance to everybody in the part. Obviously, I don't actually give it that level of thought. What I mostly go is like, critical strike. You know, I play it like I'm an idiot, but that's what I like. But then I learned when BattleTech came out, I was like, there is such a thing as too slow for me. I'll revisit BattleTech in in 10 years, and I'll be like, is this my time to enjoy BattleTech? Maybe, maybe not. Don't think it's a bad game. BattleTech is the harebrained schemes plus paradox tactics mech game that came out earlier this spring. And I was like, maybe I'll play it. I'm itching for the strategy genre again. And then I played it and I was like, not for me. I love harebrained schemes though. Well, I mean, I didn't like Necropolis that much. What I should say is I really like the new Shadowrun games. Those are cool. Anyway. This is see, like, you're making me talk about video games endlessly, because this run doesn't give me the tools necessary to ever focus on anything but video games because of the way that the run is going, dude. I need damage with 2.75 damage on the Womb 2. Puts a monkey wrench in your whole day. Not because, like, I didn't start today and be like, let's do 1,000 Isaac episodes. But I did. I was like, today we're going to spend, you know, maybe 5 or 6 hours recording Isaac. It's nice to get into a groove like that. I love when I have days where I can just be like, today is this game. And frequently that ends up being Isaac because of the output. But when you get a run like this, is your 3rd or 4th run of the day, you're like, man, guess I won't be buying groceries tonight if I want to hit that output that I previously desired. It's like when you're at work, you get a particularly difficult file or something like that. See, people say I'm out of touch. I know all about the other industries. You've got files and telephones and etc., etc. And boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time. I'm familiar with it. We have a 38.13% chance of a deal with the devil. It's our final deal with the devil chance, short of getting a Joker card. And by far our most likely remaining opportunity to get a Guppy transformation. Please, God. Nope. God can't hear you. Only I can. That's Yoda, apparently. Hear you, God cannot. Only me. Dude, what if they made Saw movies, but instead of Jigsaw being the killer, it was Yoda on that bicycle? Pass to the son, sins of the father do. Hmm? Play a game you would like to, yes? Please, Lionsgate, I know you're in Vancouver. I know you're watching this video. I'm probably the most prominent local celebrity here. Henrik who? Anyway, the point is, Ryan Reynolds? You must be mistaken for another Ryan, who is substantially more noteworthy in all circles of pop culture. Anyway, the point is, if you're listening to this, we're gonna have to get in touch with Lucasfilm, now Disney, but, you know, after the whole Solo thing and the remake Last Jedi campaign, we're buying low. So we're gonna buy that Yoda license. Yoda. I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna buy that Yoda license. We're gonna remake the Saw films with Yoda as Jigsaw. This is the kind of idea that, like, the internet loves, but would make $2 at the box office. Like the people who were like, Robert Downey Jr. should say, "No crap, Sherlock," to Benedict Cumberbatch when they meet in Infinity War Part 1, because they both have played Sherlock. It would be such a nice nod to the fans of the... I understood the reference, you know, like that. If they actually did that in the movie, people would be like, it's a new Shuri saying, what are those? Anyway. They're not gonna... If they put that in the movie, I will be mad. If I ever see, and maybe this makes me a poor sport, okay? If I ever see a movie and somebody gets baited by the "What's up, dog?" You know, like, oh, it smells like up dog in here. If that happens in a Fast and Furious film or something like that, I will start a change.org petition to get the franchise shut down for indecency. You gotta be better than that, okay? We could be heroes. Just for one film. And he would be small. And his skin would be green. He could be Jigsaw just for one day. I'm begging. Please. This run, we gotta check. I hate it, but we have to check. This run is now actually bordering on a potential loss. I'm not asking you to buy into this Jigsaw idea, by the way, okay? Because it's obviously horrendous, but kind of funny. What I would love, though, is if, you know, check Twitter. See if I've retweeted somebody who sent it already, but... a good Photoshop of Yoda as Jigsaw. Look, I'm just saying it would brighten my morning a little bit. Well, or afternoon, depending on whether this is the 9 o'clock video or the 3 o'clock video, you know? You don't have to put a quote on it. Just Yoda in his old weird robes as Jigsaw. I'm so close to making a concerted, conscious decision to ending this run as Eden, deliberately becoming Dark Judas when we have our next charge. And, you know, to go from 5 HP to 4 HP but double damage, nobody's going to tell me that that's not a relatively appropriate way to handle this, I think. Because this is actually... Like this, I'm being honest with you, okay? This is not rude. This is the kind of run that will make other people quit Isaac. I'm not saying this run should never be able to happen, but to have 2 incredibly poor damage runs in a row, and this is not like I squandered deal with the devil chances. You know, these ones were like, I got every deal with the devil chance. We even had a higher deal with the devil chances than normal. These are the kind of runs where, like, if you're not recording 2 episodes of this a day for YouTube forever, people would just be like, you know what, I'm going to play something else. So, I'm just saying. I'm not saying you need to rework the code and make it so that every run is guaranteed to have a damage upgrade. All I'm saying is, you know, the fact that runs like this can happen with some regularity, it's not a game breaker for me, but it is a little bit of a problem. Especially the more meme items I pick up, the more I go, you know what? Well, I mean, do we really have that many meme items? Here's the thing. We could, and this is how you know that I take personal responsibility for everything in my life, okay? We could have not used Book of Revelation so much, and as a result, we wouldn't have been forced into getting so many balls of bandages. And as a result of that, we might have gotten more damage upgrades. Even though damage upgrades are very, very rare to get from bosses, it could have happened. So I'll give you that. There's one, what I would describe as a fringe way for us to have indirectly improved our chances of getting a damage upgrade at what I would describe as great personal expense to our HP and also our damage potential via 3rd level ball of bandages. But like, this is, it's tiresome for sure. It's fine. Like, I'm not gonna make up a big post on the subreddit and be like, this is ridiculous. What, Isaac is never, like, every time I go to a video game subreddit and there's an angry post about the state of the game, there might as well always be like a subtext that's like, I just lost and I'm mad. It happens all the time. Like, I'm not saying NHL 18 is a great hockey video game. I'm saying it's the only hockey video game. But the subreddit is just inundated with posts like, this is unacceptable. And I'm like, let me guess. Somebody scored on you on a wraparound, and you lost the game as a result, and, you know, most of the time, if you scored on the wraparound, it would have been fine, but because somebody else scored on the wraparound, it's, this is unacceptable. And it kind of is, but... Okay, so I don't think we actually use this. I think we try to live. My brain got scrambled with those shots, but we made it out. I think we try to live, and then maybe this is where we respawn as Dark Judas. We can't make ourselves respawn yet, which is very frustrating. But there's got to be like spikes or a fire or something somewhere. Huge, huge. Is it worth doing? Yes. Yes, I believe so. Spikes? Spikes of any sort? Oh! No response, please. Okay. We can't step on spikes anyway. You fool. So here's what I'm gonna do. We'll lose a heart in the process of doing this. No, we won't, because we'll respawn outside. Okay, okay, okay. So this is not incredible, but I would rather just commit to this Dark Judas sort of idea right off the bat. I actually think that I would say we have like a 80% chance to win, which is relatively pessimistic by Isaac standards. But these stats are not good. They're great stats to start a run with, but for the chest, they're very underpowered. So I'm hoping, well, Mom's Eye is inert. It changes nothing. Monster Manual takes us closer to Bookworm, but is otherwise inert. Sharp Straw is okay, but we can't really afford to take it. And Key Bomb is, I mean, it's horrible, obviously. So it's going to be tough. Double damage is double DPS. Which takes us from poor to below average. Luck stat is such that we could conceivably get some rate of, or not rate of fire increases, but just items in general. And, you know, we do have this 3rd level Bandage Girl doing something. I think you blow it up. You could play it. Oh, you know what? We can't blow it up. So I guess you play it. May your troubles be many. Not right now, please, Edmund. I'm in the middle of a run that's actually difficult, so most of the time I would, you know, ha ha ha, may your troubles be many. Instead, I'm like, yeah, well, you don't know how right you are, Edman. I don't really want HP, but that's the way the cookies crumbled here, and that's okay. That was very dumb. Polyphemus. Enormous. Enormous help. 26 damage. Spirit Hearts, please. Strength. Also pretty good. Even a 15 rate of fire with Polyphemus is not bad. Nah. Okay, let's go do some rooms. Let's do some rooms, bro. I will tell you, Sharp Straw actually looks kind of tempting now. I think it can drop Spirit Hearts, but it's not guaranteed, which is where I think the true value of the Book of Revelations becomes important here. Polyphemus may have, well, I don't want to say it saved us, because for a couple of reasons, really. We're not actually saved yet, and also, you know, we were screwed for a long time. Well, what'd you blow up with? Dark Bomb. That's huge. Already, we've gotten, like, better items on the chest than we've gotten on every other floor in the game combined. Not to be salty or anything, it's just, like, the reality of the situation. Spirit Heart? Oh, you're too good to me. Okay, so we're probably fine now. The game's like, ha, I just wanted to scare you, and it's a prank thing. Sure, fine, you got me. Fooled ya. I was only pretending to be imbalanced as a result of all the booster packs adding junk items to the game. Just kidding, mostly. No one can hurt a game like the people who love it the most. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, me, Cobalt, other people who have played an unbelievable amount of Isaac over their lives, we can issue insults that should cut the developers to their core. But it's only because we're so close to the meat already. You know, it's only because we love it so much that we can come up with the exact things that ruin its self-esteem. It's like if people try to insult me, they don't know me, they would say, ha, you're bald. And I would be like, yes, that's true. People know me, they would be like, ha, you work so much because you're worried that one day people are going to discover the fact that you're actually not that talented, so you want to just, like, get in while the getting's good before everybody instantaneously and simultaneously wises up to the fact that you're not good at your job. And I'm like, oh my god. That's an incredible insult. That one would cut me to the... I would have to spend like an hour just processing that, because, you know, you've cut deep to what to my deep-seated insecurities. It's like, you know, in the movie It, where whenever Pennywise is around, people see what their biggest fear is, magnified and distorted. That's what you've just done to me. That's the true value of an insult. That's how you know you're being insulted by a true friend. Haha, Eggman, you look like an egg. Yes. Doesn't bother me in the least. Lots of people look like eggs. Anyway, okay, this run after 55 minutes is done. Thank God. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It helps a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.